Live. I've got the usual crew with us. Since he is becoming a regular fixture now,
Hmm.
it's me, Ayo, Charles, Biodun, and of course my man Cincy. All right, we're gonna be diving into the games this weekend. There aren't that many, high-profile fixtures this weekend, so we're just gonna run through each game and give quick predictions. Uh, Real quick before we go ahead, please like, subscribe. Thank you as always for watching with us every week as we run through the games every week. All right, let me pull the fixtures up. We're starting off. First game of the weekend is Crystal Palace against
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Yep.
Charles, tell me your thoughts about this game.
Ah, Liverpool will
Because
have.
I came to you because I remember telling you in the summer that Liverpool was looking good and
Yeah.
Liverpool is going to challenge this season, and you're like, whatever. You can't really talk about preseason. We're 6 games in now. Tell me what you think about Liverpool. They're top of the league at the moment.
So what I would say is Liverpool is looking great. I predicted they will make top four. Do I still
Uh,
stand by it? Maybe because it's still quite early, but they are looking good. But my comment at the beginning of the season was preseason, in my opinion, is not as important as people make it seem because there are
Okay.
38 games in. You could win all your games in preseason and the 38 games start and you even win the first five or first six and then injuries come, things happen. Preseason, in
Mhm.
my opinion, doesn't play an effect in the league. But that's by the way. Liverpool, they're doing great. They're really, really doing great. And I for this game, I don't see Crystal Palace doing anything. Maybe they'll get a goal, maybe not. Crystal Palace actually isn't doing as great compared to Liverpool, compared to what they
Crystal
did last.
Palace is actually struggling with relegation at the moment. They're in
Exactly,
18th place.
Mm-hmm.
exactly. So they're
Doing very
struggling with
shitty at the moment.
relegation. They're a shadow of themselves compared to what they were last season. And normally, I would have said maybe they'll give Liverpool a tough time, but I see 3 points, pure 3 points for Liverpool in this game. Easy.
Okay, so Liverpool stay top of the league,
Yeah, yeah,
barring.
definitely. Yeah.
Oh,
For this
okay.
weekend, into the international break, Liverpool stays above the league. Yeah.
Okay, but you still don't have them for top four.
For now, I'm still sticking to my prediction. I put them
Okay,
for fifth. For now, I'm sticking to my prediction.
Really?
I'm sorry.
okay,
Really?
Yeah,
Fifth?
before the season started, I said because they didn't buy any player. Of course, they eventually bought Chiesa, and I don't know if they bought somebody else. But before they bought
just
a
get
player,
that.
I said because they did not buy any player, I think that's going to affect them at some point.
Yeah.
I
So
predicted an injury to Salah alone would affect the front three or affect the attack. An injury to VVD, Van Dijk alone in defense is already a problem. So because they didn't get backups for these guys, I think 38 games. By the time we get to December, January, I think we're going to see something happen. But they're looking great right now. I'm not even going to deny that. I think they're going to win this game and they're going to stay on top of this league into the international break.
okay. Anybody have a different opinion? 3 points for
Uh,
Liverpool.
I I just want to say so. Ideally, with the way things are, I expect Liverpool to win. But remember that the last game between these two teams, Crystal Palace beats them. They actually went to Anfield and won the game, and
Mm,
it's still the same manager.
okay.
So he
I remember
knows.
last season.
Yeah, Glasner.
Yeah, that season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
last.
the Palace of last season. Something is off. But
Oh,
keep going.
hold on. Can I? Yeah, can I? Chelsea, can I say something? Okay, all right. Um, it's the same manager. He's played Liverpool before. They are not having a great time, but maybe this game will be the game to for them to bounce back. Right? There's a possibility that they might use this game to bounce back. I don't know,
Mm.
but I hope it's the game for them to bounce back, especially since they're playing against Liverpool. Right? I definitely want Liverpool to drop a point. So Liverpool needs to go to Crystal Palace and try to win. If they take it lightly, they might regret it. It's going to be should be an easy game for them, but again, it's the game of football. Anything can happen. So I won't be surprised if Liverpool goes there and crumbles.
Okay. All right. Moving on to Arsenal Southampton. Cincy, I'm gonna take your prediction from this one.
Well, this one is definitely an easy one for me. I think Arsenal picks this one, especially at home against relegation battling team like Southampton, and Arsenal is coming off a 4-2 win of Leicester City. Even though at some point it kind of looked shaky, but I had no doubt in my mind that Arsenal was going to win that game. And another thing I've noticed about Arsenal's game lately, I was telling my friend, is that the set piece game, the corner game is beginning to look like penalty. I don't know why, but those things are looking very, very dangerous. And I feel bad for Southampton having to face a team that's good technically with the ball. So they're going to have a lot to deal with. This is going to be a straight, easy win for Arsenal. I don't even see as Southampton being a threat in this game. Easy, 3-0 for Arsenal in this game.
So I'll add something real quick. The three promoted teams, right? And I'm talking Southampton, Ipswich, and who's the
Leicester.
third? Leicester. Of those three, Southampton to me have been the worst. And the reason why I say that is from what I've seen so far. They have players who are good on the ball, but the recovery, the runs are so slow. It's almost
So
like
yeah,
I'm watching a level that is below the Premiership. They're not
and,
playing at the level I would expect of a Premiership team.
but
Ipswich is stepping up. Leicester is stepping up. When I watch Southampton play, the runs, like the movement of the ball, the movements recovering to defense, it's so slow. It's almost like I'm, like I said, watching a non-Premiership team.
yeah,
Okay, let's
we even agree that that team. If you look at the team sheet and everything, you realize that looks like almost like a championship team.
Yeah.
That is a
I
very
mean, they
low.
have a couple players who've played in the Premiership. Bednarek, Howard Bellis was at Man City, so I think there's decent
But
quality there.
it's just,
Dribbling is
but it's just sprinkles of them. A lot of
yeah.
those guys, people don't even know them. So
But I mean, if you look at Ipswich, you don't. I mean, I don't think any of us knew anybody from Ipswich. Yeah, Ipswich is doing well. Rory Delap came from Man City as well, and he's.
I mean,
He
that's
scored
about the
two goals last
only.
season, and they held Villa. Villa is the top four, top six side.
Yeah,
So that's
they are overachieving. Don't get me wrong. I'm still expecting them to be relegated.
yeah. It's still early in the season, but that's just
I
my
know. Yeah,
observation of
yeah.
Southampton. All right,
They
moving on to
overachieve.
Brentford Wolves.
Sorry, can I just say something real quick about
Let's-
Southampton? Okay, let's go.
Let's move on. Brentford Wolves, Bedu. Okay, you can add what you want to say about Southampton and then give me your thoughts on Brentford. Wolves.
Brentford Wolves, man, things are not looking great for Wolves. Brentford, I actually don't remember they drew again. So they have scored back to back. I don't know if you guys know that. They've scored back to back in 3 games, like the very first minute of the game. And it's the same guy in Buemo.
Mhm.
But they end up drawing the game. So they've not won in a long time, right? I think the last 3 games have been a draw. They would go all out to win this time around. Wolves is struggling. They are trying to get a win as well because they are at the bottom. So it's going to be a tough game, but I see Brentford to win this game. Speaking about Arsenal, Southampton, I just want to make sure that do not ask Cincy to predict Arsenal score result. He almost killed us last. That's how he said we're going to win beautifully against Leicester 5-0. I knew something was. And please, this Ayo, please. I was going to tell you not to ask him. You've asked him again. I said we're going to defeat them 4-0.
It's too late. It's too late.
You guys scored 4 goals. You scored 4 goals.
Do not jinx us. Please.
So Bedu, does that mean you guys
All right.
You see the goals Arsenal
Benito, Saka, everybody, ignore what this guy is saying. Go there with all seriousness and beat and take Southampton serious. Even though Southampton is struggling right now, it should be an easy win. But I don't want this guy to be predicting Arsenal's result. It comes the other
So
way.
tell me, are you predicting a draw for Brentford Wolves?
Brentford should win this game. A win for Brentford.
Okay. All right, Charles, Leicester Bournemouth.
Before I even say anything about that, does this mean Arsenal is going to lose, considering since he has
We
played?
moved on from the Arsenal game, please.
Can you say that?
Leicester Bournemouth.
Arsenal did not lose the last game. Arsenal is
How
not
about you people that want to pour?
Listen,
You
do
want
not predict Arsenal games again. That's
Bedu
my
started
point.
his
You want to stain my Arsenal jersey, please. We moved on from that game now. Sissy has given me his prediction. I'm now looking at Leicester Bournemouth. Charles.
Leicester Bournemouth. This one is, I don't know if I'll call it a tough one. It's these guys that you can't really tell whether if they're going to show up or not show up. Leicester tried to show up against Arsenal, and of course they couldn't hold their own eventually. So because it's kind of, I don't know where I'm even going to put the two teams, I'm just going to say I'll predict a draw for this.
Okay.
Make it easy for myself.
Okay. Bjorn, you've told us you've been studying Pep a lot. Man City Fulham. Is there a chance Man City drop points again? Or are we looking at
Man City is going to win this one. It might not be a lot, but they're going to win this one. Number one, they home. Is back-to-back draws. They definitely want to turn things around. I don't know if KDB is back. The point I made is, and I just want to repeat it. I told you guys, it's difficult having Rodri and KDB out. It's difficult.
Yeah.
And I told you something about Haaland. You guys said he's a good player. He will score. But I gave you the data. He scores more because he gets more chances when KDB plays. When KDB doesn't play, he creates less chances for Haaland. And you saw that happen against Newcastle. You saw that happen also against Arsenal, right? When he didn't play. So the games, go and check the games he had those hat-trick that he scored a lot of goals. KDB was in the game. That's the point I'm trying to make. So he will score against Fulham because that Fulham defense is not that strong. So there will be an opportunity. Newcastle was very disciplined. So if you want to play Man City, you have to be disciplined. You don't have to, you don't have to match them quality for quality. But if you're disciplined, you have a chance.
Okay, and you don't think Fulham is that structured enough to get a result?
No. I mean, they're good going forward offensively. That's where they've kind of, busted so far. But that defense is still average.
Okay, so City win.
City wins this one, easily.
Charles, I'll take your prediction for West Ham Ipswich, and then CC, I'll take you for West Ham Newcastle. Charles.
West Ham Ipswich. Ipswich, the relegated team, they're coming from relegation.
They stopped
and they're
Villa.
hoping to stand up. Say that again.
Promoted team.
Promoted team. Thank you. And on the table they're just below West Ham, so it's going to be a good fight between the two of them because they are very close to each other on the table. Whoever wins goes above the other, all that good stuff. But I think West Ham will take this based off EPL experience, and I think West Ham is going to be resurrected at some point. They're still kind of struggling 14th on the table right now, but eventually they will wake up. And as Bjorn said about Crystal Palace against Liverpool, maybe this is the game where they'll kick off their winning streak or kick off their better performance. So I expect West Ham to take this game. 3 points.
So what do you think is going on with West Ham? Why are they 14th? Right, West Ham is generally typically a top half team.
Yeah. The Moyes exit is still shocking them. I think they're still getting used to life with a new coach. Now, a lot of teams when they get a new coach like Liverpool, like Liverpool, Chelsea, they tend to perform. Doesn't always work like that for all teams. So as of right now, that probably is the issue going on.
So remind me, did he leave?
Can I
Wait, go ahead.
Can I answer your question? Yeah, go ahead, Sensei.
No, I was going to ask. Moyes left out of his own consent, or
He was forced out.
He was essentially
for what reason?
The fans rebelled against him.
The fans were tired of him. I don't think tired of. But you know how Moyes won was it Conference League?
Yes, he won the Conference League.
Yeah. How Moyes, I guess, couldn't his PR couldn't talk about his trophy like Ten Hag's PR could. Talking about how powerful a trophy is, I should keep my job because I have a trophy.
I think it's more than that. This is what happened. So what happened was the fans started getting into their own heads. Basically, they were asking Moyes to give them entertaining football.
Okay, I figured that was going to be the problem.
Yeah. So they overstepped their own boundaries, all because they acquired some players. They acquired exciting players like Kudus and all that. So they thought they had arrived. They are the level of Arsenal and Man City and all that. So they were asking the manager to play more entertaining and exciting football. Of course, if Moyes, even when he was at Man U, he doesn't play like that. That is not his style, right? So you're asking him to do what he cannot do personally. Then you're asking him to do what he cannot do with the squad because he doesn't have that quality, right? He might have one or two players. So
even if he has the quality, safe.
Exactly. So anyway, that's what happened. To answer your question around why is go ahead.
To piggyback on that, will you guys laugh when I compare him to Ten Hag? It's the same issue with Man U right now. I mean, Man U fans are asking for more, even though they are winning trophies.
No, it's different. No, it's different.
All right, let's pause on that. We'll come to Man U.
Can I just answer your question before you go? Your question of why West Ham is at this level. I actually think it's better for West Ham compared to the other teams below the table. West Ham has played so far. All the games West Ham have played, they are the difficult ones. So they are getting rid of their difficult games now. They've played Man City, they've played Liverpool, they've played Chelsea. And that is part of the 5 games they've played. So if you look at the other games, they didn't lose it. They drew those games. They didn't lose the other games. But they lost the ones against the top teams, right? Again, it's sad that I'm saying Chelsea as one of the top teams, but they lost against Chelsea, lost against Liverpool, and they lost against City. So I think it will balance out when they start meeting these other players at their level, and they will climb higher than these other teams.
Hopefully.
I think part of it comes down to what I always say about a new team. So, like you pointed out, building was about the football, and they decided to go in a new direction, right? So they've had Lopetegui, they brought in a new sporting director, and they've tried to, what as they called it, reduce the age of the squad. There was actually an interview with the sporting director after one of the games when the NBC crew was in London, and he talked about how they were focusing on reducing the age profile and changing the profile of the team. So they brought in players like Todibo, they brought in players like Mavropanos, like you said earlier, Kudus. So let's see if it starts to take effect. I think it will take time before we start to see the results. Maybe, like you said, as they start playing some, not so difficult teams, they might start to see results. All right. Cincy, I'm going to come to you with Everton Newcastle.
Everton Newcastle. This one is actually pretty tricky, and the reason why I say this is because Newcastle is playing away, so and Everton is not that bad, even though the table is not really doing them justice. I've seen them play a couple games; they still have some decent players on that team, and I want to say this one is looking like a draw to me. I think
you and I talked about this when we saw a couple days ago, and you were telling me to watch out for Dwight McNeil.
Yeah,
so part of Everton's problem this season has been that they go up and then they concede easy, cheap goals. Like, particularly remember that game against Brentford, right? They were 2
even against
up
Aston
and they
Villa,
ended up
the same
losing
thing.
3-2.
Yeah,
Same thing against Aston Villa.
They were up 2-0 and they lost 3-2. Yeah. So yeah.
So do you think they're starting to find some structure now? They won their last game.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think they're starting to find some structure, and I think that's why I said this game is going to look like a draw. It's looking like a draw. I think they're going to give it everything. They're going to be playing in front of their own fans, and I do think it's a draw. Now, one thing I want to say is I actually want to go back to what Bjorn said about Man City Fulham game. I actually think that game is pretty tricky for Man City. If you look at the team, Fulham is actually one of the best defensive teams in the league right now. If you just in case you're not sure, you can look at the table and you can see them. They actually have even less goals than Man City. That team is actually very, very structured. And I think they are going to give Man City a little bit of problem. But I think Man City is still going to win. But I think they are not going to make it easy for them. I think, so Man City is going to have to find an alternative way to win that game. If KDB doesn't play, then it's even going to make it harder for them to actually challenge. And it might just be another Newcastle game for them. And that would be, and that's why, and because of the situation of the league right now, I'm tipping my hat off to Arsenal. If I'm a betting man right now, I think this is Arsenal's time.
Can you? I said don't talk about Arsenal again, since please keep that part.
Keep Arsenal out your mouth.
You know what? Liverpool is still there. Liverpool is still there.
All right. Yeah. Let's now come to one of the big games of the weekend. By name,
why not predict the rest and come back to Aston Villa?
Yeah, I think we'll spend time on Aston Villa, Manchester United. Bjorn, let me take your thoughts on the Chelsea Nottingham Forest game.
That's a very good one, because Nottingham Forest was the one that beat Liverpool at Anfield. So they're doing okay. And I think it will be a good test for this Chelsea guy, because Chelsea is at a place whereby we really need to bring them back to their level at this point, because the noise is getting too much. I cannot stand it anymore. I saw something like they scored like 14, 15 goals. So now it's like goals galore. And I'm looking at those defenses that is allowing this rubbish. So that rubbish has to stop. It really, really needs to stop. So I'm hoping that Nottingham Forest will go to that track. Why are you looking at me that way, Charles? So they will go to Stamford Bridge and kind of get at least a point, a draw. I think a draw will be enough.
Let's look at Charles' list.
Let's put it as a draw.
Charles needs to defend himself.
A draw for Nottingham Forest.
Let me ask you a question or two. So do you think Chelsea are title contenders now? Yes or no?
Wait, hold on, Charles. Hold on now.
No, I'm going.
You see who is defending me? I'm not even defending the question myself. You see, this is okay. I don't have to say
where this question is going, but let's
no. I'm not going. I'm not going where you think I'm going.
Okay, that's fine.
You think Chelsea? You don't get to say no. Do you think Chelsea are title contenders?
I actually don't think about Chelsea, so I don't know the answer.
No. Come on.
And I think you should respond. I don't see them.
Okay, so do you think? Hold on. Do you think Chelsea are top 4 contenders I'm asking you different questions.
I don't see them. I don't.
Okay, so last week.
He doesn't know.
Okay, last week. Hold on. Last week, and we can replay the tape. Biodu made a promise that if Chelsea beats Brighton,
I didn't make a promise.
Finish.
What is the problem? Do not lie. Do not lie on live TV. I didn't make a promise.
Wait, Biodu, hold on. We're listening, Charles. Go ahead.
You made a promise that if Chelsea beats Brighton, you would give Chelsea the respect.
No.
You would see us as contenders. Whether you called it top 4 or title, I don't remember.
That's not what I said.
Questions.
And it wasn't a
Hold
promise.
on.
That's not what he said.
I wish you let me finish, Biodu. Whether you said title or top 4 contenders, whichever one you said, that's why I asked you the 2 questions. I was hoping you would say yes to at least one of them.
I knew you were going there. That's why.
Wait, Biodu.
But I'm almost done, Biodu. I know you want to respond. But the fact that you can't even respond to any of them, your response is you can't see Chelsea, means you can't stick to your word. You said you're going to respect us if we beat Brighton. You said that game is the real test. Now you're shifting it. You're saying Nottingham Forest, keep going. The point is, we beat Brighton convincingly, and you can accept that we're contenders. And that's fine. You don't have to. At the end of the season, it will speak for itself. But
can I respond and address this, guys?
I'm almost done. But at the end of the day, we did the job last weekend, which you said you believe if we do, you will put the respect on our name. I'm expecting that respect, so you owe us that response.
Number one, guy. That's a lot of lies that you just speak. So I'm gonna clear those lies. I never said that. I didn't make a promise. I made a statement, and this is exactly what I said. I said, beating Brighton, I will start taking Chelsea seriously. Go roll the tape. That was the exact I mean. I said I will start taking them seriously. I would in my life.
That's what he said. That's
you
what
would have to kill me to say respect. I would never. Even if you I will never utter that word. I'm saying it today. No matter what, I will never utter that word. I said I will start taking you seriously. And now
you will never catch me dead.
Yes, you rather kill me.
Are you taking us seriously now?
To respond to that, yes, I think Nottingham Forest should take you seriously because you are scoring too many goals. You are having fun, but I still remain on that point. That your defense will not win anything. You can win the Conference League or whatever. You're not going to win EPL. You can contend for it. As a matter of fact, I've put you in top 6 in my mind. I didn't put you in top 6 before. You cannot make top 4. The top 4 is closed. You're not going to finish ahead of Villa. That's it. And to you, I'm waiting for you. You said you put Liverpool number 5. Liverpool is between 1, 2, 3. Liverpool is going to finish top 3. And Villa is going to take number 4. I have said it to you and many, even before the start of the season. The same 4 that finished last season is going to finish 4 this season. Go write it down. Okay. Go write it down. That's it.
We'll get back to it next year.
Okay. Nice. All right. So Chelsea Forest. Are we predicting a win for Chelsea in this game?
I said a draw. So what is Charles saying? Charles,
no,
what are you saying?
The question was for you, Biodu. Your prediction, Chelsea Forest.
Sissy, do you think otherwise?
Chelsea.
No, this is a Chelsea game. Chelsea.
Oh, hold on.
Hold on, Charles. I'm going to come back to you. Hold on. I have a question for you, Charles.
Not me now. The question was for Biodu. Chelsea, not Nottingham Forest. What's your prediction?
The moderator can ask you.
He said a draw. Biodu said a draw.
I just wanted to hear what
you said. Since he's going with the Chelsea win, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So, Charles, my question to you now is this. Do you consider Chelsea title contenders?
Not yet. I consider us top 4 contenders. Title contenders, but where we are in January will tell me if I can't title contenders. Between January and February.
Anybody can predict in January.
Where we are in January, between January and February will tell me for title contenders or not.
That's not a prediction.
For now, I say we are definitely top 4 contenders.
Top 4. Okay. I'll take that. All right. Brighton Spurs. That's a tough one. It's the other quote unquote big game of the season based on how both teams have been playing. So if we look at where both teams are at the moment, they're 8th and 9th. Right? Yeah. So I'll start with you, Biodu. Give me your thoughts on that game.
Can you go back to the table real quick, please?
Yeah. There we go. Here are the two. Brighton and Spurs.
8 and 9. Where is Chelsea? Number 4.
Number 4. They are number 4. Careful, Biodu. They are number 4.
No. It's just 3 points above Tottenham. It's just a game. They lose one game. Tottenham wins one game. They are back. Again, this thing is still fresh. Everybody is still
and they have the most goals this season. They have the most goals.
They have the most. I know. That's why I said somebody needs to stop them. They're on cloud now right now. Bring them back to their level. Anyway, Brighton Spurs. See,
Anti-Chelsea war.
what I'm about to say, Arsenal fans will kill me, but I can tell you that Angel is one of my best manager in this league. I've liked the guy since.
Flex.
Yeah, I know. You know why? Because I just like they might not get results, but I like the approach he's taking. And as an Arsenal fan, you will enjoy a free-flowing game. I like that about him. They need to fix the defense. They need to fix all those immaturity and all that, and that inexperience. So they're playing good football. Brighton is playing the same thing. That's why it makes it difficult to predict how this game will go. That's why I said I will start taking Chelsea serious. If they beat Brighton, which they did, because
And they did.
Brighton is not an easy team. So now it's Brighton Spurs. And Spurs, the way they play, they are not afraid of you. See what they did to Man United. Sorry, Cincy, right? In the weekend. So I actually think this game, Tottenham might win this game 3-2.
I agree. I think Tottenham wins this game too. I do like what Angie is doing, based on what you're saying. The issue though is I liken Angie to the latter years of Wenger. The attack was beautiful, but very susceptible to conceding goals. And I think, and again, if you look at the kind of goals Tottenham concedes, they're cheap goals to some of the, same characteristic that was, similar to Wenger's latter years. Those like cheap corners, um, cheap counter attacks when the defenders are caught out of position.
Correct.
All right. Cincy Charles, any other thoughts on Brighton Spurs before we settle on Villa
I mean,
Man?
I agree with you guys. There's going to be a lot
Yeah,
of goals.
I'm good on that one, man.
Spurs will take it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now for the main game. The pressure is
Drum roll.
mounting on Mr. Ten Hag.
Sissy.
Manchester United got off today with a 3-3 draw against Porto. They were 2-0 up. Porto came back to lead 3-2. Bruno Fernandes was shown a record. By the way, if you're keeping track, I heard it's been confirmed that the red card to Bruno Fernandes from last weekend against Tottenham was rescinded. So Bruno Fernandes should be available for this weekend. Sissy, tell us what you are feeling about Ten Hag. Ten Hag says it's a process. We talked about it in the summer. We knew it was going to take time. We brought in new young players. It's going to take time for them to get together. If you look at my record, I win a trophy every season. I've won 8 trophies in the last 6 seasons. The man is telling you to be patient. He will deliver you yet another trophy. He has won a trophy in each of his first 2 seasons. It's his 3rd season now. Again, they started with a struggle. They head to Villa Park. Tell us how you're feeling.
So, I was telling you the other time that when it comes to Ten Hag, you see, trophy should not even be something that we should consider as an accomplishment for him. He's been in this team for 4 good seasons now, right? And they provided him every single money that he has demanded.
Is it 4 seasons already?
Yeah.
This is his 3rd season.
3rd season, sorry.
Third.
3rd season.
It feels like number 4. and the guy is still not producing. He's still not being able to find his team. So far so good. This beginning of this year, up to now, we have still yet to see one game that we have actually played, and we can say that, oh wow, Man U actually played in this game, except for the Southampton game, which was expected, right? But up to now, we still have been the second team. Every single game we've played, we've been second fiddle. We're still not there yet. I don't know what is wrong. Something is off. I can't put my fingers on it. In fact, I was watching ESPN, and one of the main guys on their program, Craig Bonley, said he doesn't even know what the team is waiting for. They should just let him go right now. And I think after today, seeing the kind of result that United produced against the likes of Porto, this weekend is actually going to start putting him on the hot seat for real with the upper management. Because if we go to that Aston Villa game and lose another, have another embarrassing loss, I don't think it's going to sit well with them, and I think they're going
Is
to.
that a prediction I hear from you? Do you think it's going to be embarrassing against Villa?
I think this is looking like it's going to be a loss for United. Unfortunately, as much as I don't want to say it, but it's looking like it's going to be a loss, especially considering the fact that they are playing away against a team that is very, very strong. Arsenal beat Bayern Munich yesterday. I watched that game. I watched the highlights of that game.
PSG.
Aston Villa beat.
Aston Villa beat Bayern.
Aston Villa, yeah, they beat Bayern Munich yesterday. I watched that game, and that was an impressive win for Aston Villa. You know, they showed up and they look like they belonged in the Champions League. So with us playing them on Sunday, also playing them this weekend, it's going to be a tough ask from United. And I think Ten Hag knows what he's up against. And I think this is coming down to some of his final games, unfortunately, because I don't see him coming out of the hot seats if United go down, especially if we lose bad in this game. If we lose, and I'm not even going to talk about the players because there's no point talking about the players at this point. We already know who they are. There's no point trying to point any fingers. We know we know how this is going to go down. Bruno Fernandes, you already know, is Captain Zero. That's what I call him. Rashford, you know, he's nowhere to be found. He's still finding himself. And Zerki is still, again, who knows what it's going to turn out to be. You know, so the team's all over the place, unfortunately.
Let me come to you, Biodun. So you mentioned Zexi. I think there was some discussion last weekend. You know, is he a 9? Is he a 10? He's very good at linking up play, but it seems like he's missing that, you know, finishing touch. Biodun, can you give us an insight into what is happening with Ten Hag's Manchester United? Is there something that is he not getting the right structure? Are the players not following his instructions? What is it that with Ten Hag where we see him struggling during the season? Yes, he manages to get a trophy. And last season, you know, it was Manchester City that he beat in the final to win the FA Cup. So, I mean, that's a statement win. You know, he ends up with this trophy at the end of the season. What is it about Ten Hag's Manchester United?
So I'll try to answer, but Hayo, that question should have gone to Charles. I study Pep. I don't study Ten Hag. You know, they might look alike, but I study Pep. I don't study Ten Hag.
So
Is it the
I'm going to get Charles's
So next time, please give questions.
Give me a Pep question. Give me Pep them.
Yeah, Pep. That's the one I have. But to your point, before I go, I actually have a question that I want Sissy to think about. I think this life, sometimes you just have to stick to your guns. Do what you think is right. When you try to listen to all the opinions and views, you get confused and you will be distracted. Man U fans are kind of ungrateful. Sometimes they are ingrate. Think about it. Would you rather take a trophy every season or finish out of the top 6, right? Maybe 7 or 8 and have a good show overall? I think trophy is what counts now. And I say that because I know what other teams tell Arsenal fans. Oh, what have you won? Even though we play the best football, we compete against City, but we end up not winning trophy. They come back and say, you didn't win anything. This guy has won trophy every season. Every season. And you need to understand that the squad, the players he's been playing with, we all know that these guys are not doing their job. They might have the quality, but we are not seeing it. These guys come to
But he's the captain, he's the coach. But he bought them.
I know. It takes time. And that's what he's saying. Again, I'm not supporting Ten Hag, but I'm trying to get into Ayo's question. He is trying to clear out the house. You saw everything that he has done so far. He has cleared out there. These guys are on big wages. They're on big wages. And everybody wants to sign for Man U, not because they want to play for Man U, but they want to collect that fat wages. They have realized that now is clearing them. I don't know whether we will get more time to fix it, but I can agree with you that it's taking too much of a time. And it looks like somebody that doesn't know what he's doing.
Exactly.
Ateta did the same thing, and the picture came together. As a matter of fact, I've heard people saying Maresca is getting it right in his first season. So that's, disappointing to compare that to Man U. If Maresca is getting it done in few months.
And even the Liverpool guy is getting it
right. So again, Liverpool inherited the squad, so that's a separate conversation.
But still,
no. Maresca actually laid down the hammer. Maresca laid down the hammer with 45 million players. Sorry, 44 players. So he scrubbed them and he identified his first 11. You understand? And he's using them. Ten Hag, to be honest, I don't know why people should be saying you're going to go to Aston Villa and get beaten. Remember that you won against Man City, and that's the point. If you can go and beat Man City,
against Man City, when?
Listen, When it mattered
FA Cup
most,
final.
he went and beat Man City.
That game
Who
had
is-
emotions to it, man. Let's
No,
be real, man. It had a little bit
It
more.
doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. They add emotions to the game against Villa.
And Man City was just coming off the
Since-
hangover
since-
of celebrating the league,
since-
so they didn't
since-
really care.
Since add the same emotions this weekend when you go play Villa.
They don't
That's all
have
it
it,
is.
bro. They don't have the same emotion. They don't.
See,
They
Ayo,
don't. That looks like a
to
team that
answer
is
your
no
questions,
content.
they have both the same quality players as Villa. And let's look at it very well. You have Meno, who is young, that went to the Euros Cup, right? He's fit
England.
to face Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers does not have a call-up to the English national team. Meno has a
Agreed.
call-up.
Yeah.
So when we compare
Better
one on
quality.
one, Man United is better. You have Ugarte, who is more recognized than McGinn. Let's talk about it because he won the what's it called?
Exactly.
The Copa America.
For you. Let me
So-
say one for you.
So what is
Let
your
me
point
say
exactly now?
What I'm telling you is that fix your problem internally. You cannot tell us at this point that you don't have the players to deliver. Now you have the resources.
Okay, we are.
This is the first season.
We are not fix it now.
No, these players are right and they have better quality than last season. You've cleared out the last season's player, which are Marshall and
Nothing has changed. I'm sorry, man.
I know
If you
it's
have
not going to
to
happen overnight. It's not going to happen
changed.
overnight. But you cannot tell me that you are going to go to Villa and
We are
give
not
up.
saying anything should happen
Give up.
overnight. We are not saying anything should happen overnight. But we are saying that this give us a sprinkle of what to expect. You know,
It's
we
putting
like
ingredients
we are
together.
we are saying the same thing. You know what's so funny? I have not seen any difference since Ole left. You might have not left Ole. I'm telling you, man, there's no
You're
difference.
fired Ole. You are fired Ole.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
Like,
saying. That there's no difference since Ole left.
It's funny
now-
because Man U fans wanted Oli gone,
Yeah,
and now you're
And
kind
now
of wishing
Ten
you
Hag
had
is there.
stayed with Oli.
the football is still the same.
Let me get your opinion on this, Charles. Same
You know the
question
person
to
that
you.
Ten Hag can win trophy, finish, but it's still Ole ball. We are still playing.
Same question to you, Charles.
It's
What
just
is
a-
going on?
when-
What
it's
is
just a
going
question
on with
when-
Ten Hag? Is it because from Biodo, the summary of what I got from Biodo was the players that are there now have the quality. He talked about Menu, he talked about Ugarte. We look in defense. He brought in
Delete.
Oiland, the
what's his name?
striker,
Elite and
you have
Mazraoui.
a good striker.
He's
Azraoui,
brought in Zegzi. You know,
Onana.
Højlund is fit again. Onana was recruited last season. So what is it? So is it now time for us to see
Yes.
Ten Hag's Manchester United? Is it just a matter of building, or is there something deeper going on?
So I was just going to say it's very interesting. I'm enjoying watching Biodun go back and forth to somebody else that's not me. You know, that was actually very interesting to watch. But anyways, so I was going to say something, and I think it's going to be very controversial, but I'll say it anyway. I'll be very careful how I deliver it. When Thomas Tuchel was the coach of Chelsea, something I never really said out, but I kind of saw it. I knew we couldn't win the league. It could succeed in cup competitions, but I knew we didn't have the consistency to win the league. I think that is Ten Hag's problem. Ten Hag, what's his name? Two things that since he mentioned: emotion and identity. He talked about the game Man U won. There was emotion going in there. Ten Hag's team, and the team is a reflection of the coach. Ten Hag is a very emotional manager. That is why he's always fighting with Ronaldo today, fighting with Rashford tomorrow. And I respect coaches who put their foot down. So I'm not against that. But tomorrow is Sancho. You know, there's always someone going to, or the other day was Varane. Varane is gone now. There's always something going on between him and his players. And it shows in his management. So his team is very emotional. So when they're flying high, it can show on the field. When the mood is low, it shows on the field. Second thing is identity. Since he mentioned you haven't seen a difference from Ole's team. That's the truth. Because Ten Hag's team does not really have an identity. He can buy all the players. He can buy the same players Man City have right now and he still won't get results. Because his coaching style lacks a certain identity. And at the beginning of the season, when I praised Maresca, and Biodun laughed at me, I said Maresca did a year and a half or a year or two under Pep. Arteta did some years under Pep. What does Pep have? Identity. His teams have identity. You know how they play. You plug in, a player goes, he plugs in another player with similar style. His teams have identity. Same way Arteta has built Arsenal to have an identity right now. Same way I believe Maresca is building Chelsea. It's too early, but I already saw it in the first 2-3 games. That's why I praised Maresca. And that's why I was dissing Poch last season, because his team was also very emotional, they lack discipline, and they lack identity. Identity is what Ten Hag lacks. But without identity, you can still win league competitions because emotion can play in one game. You can draw a game and win the next one and qualify for the next round. That's why I think Ten Hag will continue to win trophies. He may win Carabao tomorrow, FA Cup, because the emotion is there. But to win the league, identity is needed. When was the last time Chelsea won the league? It was under Conte, 2017. After Conte played, he was playing for 4-2 or 4-5-1, something like that.
I with 3-5-2.
After he lost to Arsenal, he switched the team to 3-5-2. Wing backs. That was his identity. And he went on a winning streak and won the league. To win the league, you need an enormous amount of consistency. Consistency is delivered by identity. Ten Hag's team lacks the identity. We don't even know, like Sisi said, he still plays like a team. We don't know Ten Hag's style. We really don't. And that is the problem. So I think Ten Hag will continue to win trophies. And if Man U fans and Man U board are fine with that, it may work. But for the league, even if Pep leaves tomorrow, Arteta is there. And Emery has identity. We know how he simply is, both in Europe and domestic. And Slot looks like he knows what he's doing. You understand? Ten Hag cannot win the league with the way he plays. He cannot win the league. He can win.
I don't think
he cannot win the English Premier League because he lacks identity.
Okay. Got it. Okay, I love that analysis. So it's the identity is missing.
Things that I like. It's funny. Wow. Congrats.
So today's a good day. Let's keep it good.
All right. So let me take predictions then from Biodo and Charles. Sisi is unfortunately predicting that they're going to get beaten at Villa Park. Biodo and Charles.
2-2.
2-2 draw. Okay. Biodo thinks Man U might sneak a point from this. Charles.
No, I'm just supporting what Sisi said. There's going to be emotion. He's going to put his job on the line with those players. They're going to go out there and fight.
Fair point, but I still think it's a 2-1 Villa win.
2-1 Villa win. Cincy.
Nah, I think this is end of the road for Ten Hag. I think we're going to lose this game, and yeah.
Let me catch this. Are you predicting then that Ten Hag gets fired this weekend or next week?
I think if he loses this game, you're going to start hearing a lot more about Ten Hag out, and I think there's going to be a discussion in the upper management about his exits after this game.
I have a question for Cincy.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Charles.
I have a question for Cincy. If you don't mind me asking, Ayo.
Sure.
Yeah.
Today I saw a list of managers that could replace Ten Hag. Gareth Southgate, former England manager. Thomas Tuchel, former Chelsea and former Bayern manager. I don't remember the other three guys. But basically, my question is, if it was up to you, who would you use to replace Ten Hag right now?
To be honest with you, I've actually not thought about it, man, when it comes to management. But my own is that whoever they are bringing in, please, they should not bring in any Dutch manager anymore. Anybody.
Bro, come on, man.
Anybody.
You just threw that an entire country.
Van Persie is part of your coaching staff.
Then they don't bring.
One
of them might take the job.
No, we don't want them anymore. They need to leave.
Van Nistelrooy, Thomas Tuchel, Gareth Southgate. Who is Ipswich manager, guys?
Wait.
Manager.
It's so funny because what I've heard.
Would you hire a slot? Sisi, if they offered a slot to Man U,
I don't want him. I don't want them. I don't
want a slot.
I don't want that. Honestly, at this point, we need a coach. We need a Spanish coach. Honestly.
Oh wow!
Jealousy. We need a Spanish coach. Like I wouldn't want Southgate because Southgate never coach England. You won't give a Man U. Bro. No, let us go there, man. That is like
Beaumont. Go talk to Beaumont's coach. He's available.
So the list was Ipswich coach, Frank McKenna.
Are you kidding me?
I know that's the list. I didn't create the list. Thomas Tuchel. Yes. Thomas Tuchel, former Bayern coach, Gareth Southgate, and what's Ruud van Nistelrooy, the current assistant.
I did hear rumors
You know what?
that
Let me tell you.
if
You
they
know what?
decided to get rid
Let
of
me go
Ten
back to that
Hag,
question.
it will
No,
probably
let me.
Van Nistelrooy stepping into the shoes briefly
So they find
Yeah.
before
something.
they hire somebody long term. Yeah.
Let me go back
But
to
go
that
ahead,
question.
Sissy.
Let me go
Yeah.
back. I think if I was to pick Shao, one person that I would even just let me just even manage him for now is Brendan Rodgers. I will manage Brendan Rodgers
It
right
just
now.
got destroyed. It just got destroyed on Tuesday.
He's
Yeah.
okay. He's fine. He's what team is he coaching? Celtics.
Stacey, I remember the fifth person. The fifth person is former Chelsea coach, Potter, Graham Potter.
Nah.
So let me give you the list again. And since this is my real question,
Okay, so
if you
pick one from
must,
the list.
if you must pick one, you must. Don't say
Okay.
nobody. You
Okay.
must.
Okay. So it's between McKenna, who else?
McKinnon,
Uh-huh.
Tuchel.
Gareth Southgate,
Okay.
Thomas Tuchel,
Uh-huh.
Graham Potter, and
Uh-huh.
Ruud van Nistelrooy.
I'll pick McKenna, man.
And he's the only one that has 0 trophies on the list, though. That McKinnon.
I will pick him.
Tell us why.
Right.
Why
Right.
McKenna?
Because Tuku, I don't like his style. The guy never finishes things. He comes in with all this. He comes in, yeah. I mean, that's because he had what team? What with Bayern Munich? What
No,
team
Chelsea.
was that?
Chelsea.
Havertz.
Yeah, the guy comes in, he makes
Okay.
this whole big wave. Then when things start going bad, doesn't know how to recover. As far as Van Nistelrooy
But
goes,
that's good for Man U because things have gone bad. So there's nothing to.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it will be a replacement, but it won't. I don't think it's more of a
It's already
long
gone bad for Man U. So I mean,
Yeah. Ruud van Nistelrooy, no experience. I don't like that Dutch vibe. I'm done with it. We need to move on. And what was the other person that was there again?
Graham Potter.
Potter at his time at Brighton, but when he had a better team as Chelsea, he didn't show up. So that was a big red flag for him.
Southgate.
He's looking like a mid-level manager. And who was the other person?
Southgate.
Southgate, like I said, Southgate didn't do anything with England. He went to a couple of finals and bottled it, and I don't see him doing anything with a C-grade team like United.
So you're going to pick McKinnon that's not good. So because of the unpredictability.
The reason why I want McKenna is because it's just the fact that's element of surprise.
Okay.
That's the reason why I'll pick him, because the other ones I've seen what they can do, and I don't think they're a good fit. But for him, the fact that I've not seen it, I can just give him the element of surprise. Maybe he can come in, being a young coach, he can ginger them, might say one or two things that might just make boys want to play well. It's possible. So I will take my chance on him.
Okay.
All right, and on that note, we'll end there. Let's see next week whether Ten Hag is there when we're back after the international break, looking at game week 8.